Screw it. I'm keeping
Hello,
a large escape gen up.
everyone. This is round 5 of the what has this been? The one ship fight night event that's been going on. We are back
Yeah,
to
it's
normal.
certainly something.
We are back to normal. No more insane rules. No one gets a battleship anymore. Facility capture has been thrown out as a viable game mode, and we are back to everyone's got one ship, maximum of 1,000 points. The ships you can bring, the hulls are in the description of this event in the main neb server. I am not listing them all. Except Davenin. Davenin can bring liners, we've established.
Yeah.
But Davenin's not here anymore, so.
Make sure the audio is not scuffed. There we go. All right. Anyways, yes. As you can see, we are on a giant potato map. It is 5-point control. Each player, 1,000 points. Singular ship, modded stuff, approved list. Yep. Escape Gen has stolen my hoodie, but hey, what else isn't new?
I hid the foodies
let's get to
for
it.
this event. They're no longer there. The grand
I tried
reveal...
opening Fugi. It crashed the millisecond that I tried loading the source with the 30-person call.
That's fucking hilarious. Oh, I see an oddity. Is this Levy's oddity? It's Levy's oddity! Let's fucking go! I love this.
Levy, somehow figure out how to build a carrier. I think this is Bell's ship. It's -1 something. It's got 4 Bellbirds on a beamstone. That looks about right.
I'm sorry, what?
Called it. Yep. Or it's not Bellbirds, blankets. Jammers. My mind's cooked. We've been doing this for like, what, 4 hours sometime?
Yeah, Bell's Keystone. Bell refuses to bring any fucking mods to this event, brings a fucking almost completely vanilla beamstone, does 20k damage per match with 5 kills, and then complains that the modded stuff is too overpowered. Bell is a creature. We love Bell. We love Bell.
Yep.
Anyway, rundown of what's going on. Captain James has a... Captain James has a rocket! He has a rocket!
Yes,
Jones,
the rocket runner!
Let's fucking go!
It's got triple prowlers! It's invisible!
It's triple prowler! Let's fucking go!
Stealth overhaul! It's got 1,300 signature size! It's non-existent! It moves at 18 meters a second.
Stealth overhaul. There's no way this thing's getting spotted. Holy shit. Nope. Okay, dual front.
Hang on. Wait a second. They have also got prowler.
Dual front's running a single prowler stealth overhaul, so pretty stealthy, but not
that's a Hallow build.
Stealth.
Right?
Hallow. I'm just looking at Hallow now. What do we have? Whiplash, Frontline. Right. Hallow's is pretty normal. Hallow's is just plasma build, laser PD.
Pinpoint, heavy rotary plasma. Yeah, good stuff overall.
Kenobi
got...
Yep, Kenobi's running the rotary plasma. Kenobi has been killing it this whole event, by the way. They just keep doing 30k damage with this rotary plasma build they keep running.
The rack build. Like, I keep seeing people say, oh, I'll run missiles. No, don't bother. L2B lasers or L1B lasers or whatever, the dual purpose ones. They shred every missile. Just run gun. You get like 30k damage. It's insanity.
Levy's got the carrier oddity, because why not?
Elent on the belly of that thing, too.
Is that a fucking MLS launcher on this Jones?
Yep, that is. With how much ammo?
Mark 61
20 torps.
On the side. Curious. Nick is running the Starshield. I think this is the Starshield destroyer, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like it's.
I've seen these things run with a vertical build where like you just point top towards enemy. Like
yeah, it looks like this kind of is. It looks like they're going to point top towards enemy and use the side turrets, I think.
I think so, yeah.
Unabiner running the 250 120 torch ship here.
Pure gun ripping thing. Nice thin for a profile with this big spoon.
And
Zippy I've been calling him the whole night.
Also running the rotary plasma Viscount.
4 rotary. Yep, that's how you do it.
The Viscount's beautiful.
4 rotary plasma, 2 of the little beams on it to shoot down stuff. That's all you need.
Over on
Bell got
OSP.
Beam destroyer. Yeah.
Ox is running plasma torch ship. This is the Noether-class.
The regular kind for it.
Ooh, we have a rotary plasma Starshield destroyer.
Ooh, that's gonna be fierce. Okay. If they can get belly onto enemy, that's got extra side guns too, I think.
It has a comms jammer and a radar jammer. The bubble comms jammer.
Yeah, I recognize some of the modules. They're weird, but...
Internet Explorer is running the... Is this a fucking long-range plasma Keystone by the looks of it?
2 rotary plasmas with
rotary plasma.
The spinal, yeah.
Yep. John Bowles on the other side. We have 350 120 torch ship. I keep
main gun, secondary batteries, not bad honestly.
Yeah.
Got a lock on it too.
Nick Up has been running this beam missile Keystone pretty effectively. That also has auxiliary lasers on the bottom.
Yep, little point defense and offensive there, L2. Never quite sure how effective the L2 is.
Tasty's got the triple sun drive Rocket Jones. We've got two Rocket
Speedy
Jones.
boy.
Two Rocket Jones.
This thing's gonna go super fast and explode. It's gonna be great.
Zapdo is running the broadside 605 Starshield destroyer. The Callisto.
See, those heavy blasters sometimes come out and play. Also has the deck gun on top to potentially get work done.
Multiple locks going off. Ghost Dragon is locked, taking heavy plasma fire. They send
immediately
out,
open up there.
They return fire. This was a duel between Zippy and them. They catch Zippy's broadside, does quite a bit of damage. Zippy trying to get their
insignificant
bow
there.
on.
So the big thing here is Zippy, incredibly tough forward-facing. That said, takes them a second to get their nose over here. Those shots very inaccurate at this distance, but still this kind of L-shaped ambush. They're getting caught from two different angles. That's a lot of fire coming from Ghost Dragon and Internet here.
Yep.
Not the greatest effect, but still, volume of fire adds
Return
up.
fire
Ooh,
from
that whiplash
Zippy.
drive.
Return fire from Zippy goes into the destroyer here. Starting to add up, yeah. The destroyer is just such a large target, the Starshield. The drive is down! Oh no!
Yep, drive
Zippy's
out on Zippy there, redded. Lose the antenna as well.
That's unfortunate. They've been caught out by multiple enemies out in the open here. And they are just
bad angling as they go there.
Picked apart
Battle
by
group from
rotary
above
plasma.
as Hallow, Lost Leviathan, and I think Nick the Nuker are going to start opening up on this group as they had initially got a great volley. Nick up here is taking a lot of damage to their reactor. 4 crits on that thing in an overload. That's not good. They continue to get pounded away by all this other plasma fire.
The plasma just does so much damage instantaneously, the rotary plasma. Like,
yeah, it's what you want out of autoloaders, T30 burst levels.
Right.
Look at Hallow just holding down the
support
here.
from Kenobi as Kenobi comes in from behind with their Viscount here, supporting Zippy.
Yep.
I think they're trying to get Zippy out of there. Zippy still has all of their restores. Only 2 things have been great. Like, if they can get things working, they can get out of there pretty effectively. Yeah, support fire as well.
Yeah. Single fire in the mag auto, bit of a problem, but at the same time, like, this ship, with enough time, can repair itself. It won't feel good, but it will be operational. That said, can't be said for Nick Up, who's super fucking dead here.
Yeah, he's just gone. Yep, Zippy just needs to get that drive back online and just get into cover and effect repairs.
Honestly, good rotation from blue team here, relieving their front line after it got jumped. Tasty Cookie coming around from a flank here, potentially onto the big spoon from Unibeener over here. Speedy Boy is in range for visual.
Oh, that's the rocket.
There's a reactor bloom.
It's the Rocket Jones! Holy shit, it's real.
Rocket Jones comes in around the corner. How fast does it get on target? Rocket's away.
Oh.
Some of them getting shot down, I think. Other ones gonna find purchase.
Rotary plasma.
Reactor tanks most of those hits there. Speedy Boy is... Yeah, it's still healthy. It's just the damage control board is a little bit glitchy. Kenobi might be eating it here. A couple of rockets gonna find them.
Takes a lot of hits to the drives. Dodges a lot
Honestly,
of
not the worst there. Prowler drive on this
more rockets come
choice.
out.
Oh, that's gonna do it. Yep, Prowler drive
ouch.
and now the big reactor. Smack. That's a good effect on target.
Zippy
Now, is
does
this
have their
effective, is the
drives back
question.
online. Their magazine is redded, so they are unable to fight. Nope, there it goes. Magazine back online, firing back into the Jones. Massive hits
Immediately
into the
rips those
drive
plasma
section.
shots into
Yeah.
the Speedy Boy. Speedy
See
Boy
how
Sun Drive's
fast
gonna go
that
down here.
those drives go down. Yeah, Sun Drives are not resilient to being hit at all.
37% of rockets left, 41 in total. So this thing needs to dump its payloads. Tasty goes for the tackle, does manage to effectively, like, well, sandbag the team for a bit, but
Kenobi
I
is
think that despite the damage,
restorable.
they can get back into this.
Kenobi's restorable but damaged. Up top, Hallow just putting out supporting fire with, oh no, the, Amatrezu, the destroyer, the broadside destroyer, is being picked apart by the heavy plasma. Ouch.
Where is that?
Up top.
Up top. Is that broadside or up here? Yeah.
Obelisk, more
There it is. Thank you. I was looking at it. There was a broadside with one of these somewhere. I was thinking bottom of the map. Yeah, this
Rockets
thing,
at
obelisk style,
range.
heavy damage.
Rockets at range strike the 4th and Gusto from Dual Front. That was a long-range rocket strike that was pretty successful. That,
Completely missed out where that one was.
Low underneath the
I
B-point.
see. Yep, the low underside flank with this pair came along here.
B point going to Team 1 as Edgelord is completely uncontested on the point here. C point going to Team 2 as Zopto is completely uncontested.
B-side Edge alone. A point, John Bold's just hanging out back there. Bell moving forwards, trying to get something done with the Beam Destroyer. Knows that they can advance under the jamming cover for a good while. Still, there's a lot of Orange team suffering right now as all their frontline assets have been engaged and focus fired. Nickup is going to drop out there, I think. That's surrender or yes,
the rotary,
okay, that was surrender and tap out as they detonated.
The rotary plasma Viscounts are operational. They've taken damage, but these things, even damage, these things are a massive threat.
Take a look from
that being
Zippy.
said, Zopto is starting to gray out Zippy's damaged rotary turrets here.
Okay, this is interesting. The angle on that, the deck cannon, is a little bit hard to reach, but it can sometimes fire on that broadside. Just verticality ever so slightly not enough. There we go. Now it gets the shot off.
Vigil of Izzy has been completely gutted up top here, as it looks like Team 2 is starting to win this frontline engagement in the middle here. Kenobi drives down again.
Rocket strike coming out here towards Tasty, suspended in space here. I think these will all land. Yep, that's going to be some good little bits of damage. That's the midsection gone. Missiles are no longer available on the Speedy Boy. I don't know if I had them anyways to begin with. I think no, they still had a rocket payload, but gone.
Stealth rocket creature is approaching slowly from underneath the D point here.
Yeah, the mini bomb, I'd like to point out, it's still not detected as it's yet to unmask itself, but that is such a small signature size. If they have any jamming at all, you just won't see this thing. Let's see, there's the glow stick here, which we saw at one point had a full laser build. Now it's gone to running plasmas, has been kind of the flavor of the sessions here. Beaner getting pretty nastily messed up by the broadside and some of the forward-facing plasmas from Internet Explorer with their rotaries. These rotaries just deal so much damage.
They are fucking insane. Like, there's no reason why you shouldn't bring these on whatever you bring. Like, bring a torch ship, put rotary plasma on, bring even a Viscount because you can have the 4 forward-facing ones.
I forget what the frigate is called, the one that Zippy has, but I love that thing. Just the 4 rotaries on it. Just let it rip.
That's the Viscount.
Ah, gotcha.
That
thing's about to go critical.
One of my favorite holes.
Mini bomb coming around the corner. People in my chat asking, "Hey, where did my hoodie go?" Escape Gen stole it.
I did. I really want to see this stealth rocket ship engage at the
It's coming around the corner. The glow stick has been detected. Rocket order has been issued. They're commencing firing.
Mini bomb's been locked.
Get bloomed.
The laser point defense. The laser point defense.
Quick, you have to click your buttons. Fire your missiles. Firing 5 Piranhas. No, you fool. Fire a salvo. Instantly rotated on as Ghost Dragon says, oh shit, hey, a target. And then let's rip with the rotary plasma.
Yep.
Internet Explorer also going to join them in just annihilating this asset. They're firing the missiles off, but the lasers are good. Those L2 mediums are so strong at shooting down incoming missiles.
Aloe is still just winning the fight up top, by the way. Just a massive fire down range into these ships at D point.
Honestly, I think Hallow might have the right idea with this build. It's just a very thin target profile forward facing. They have the point defense with some of the little lasers they've got there. They've got the rotary for like most of the damage they want to do, and they just kind of hold down the trigger towards targets. Ghost Dragon taking another salvo from that.
And the poor stealth rocket strike kind of failed there. 100
mini
mil
bomb
comes
attempted,
in.
just didn't fire its missiles off sufficiently.
100 mil from dual front out into this internet's Keystone here, but unfortunately, 100 mil just completely outdamaged by this plasma. Like,
T30 is good, but in this kind of matchup where you've got these guns, you just want to let it rip. As we see Hallow continuing to fire singular double-barrel deck gun there, just doing all of this work.
It's a double-barreled rotary gun at range, and it's just tearing apart these ships. Like, it's actually insane how powerful
How many gun plotters does this have? 1, 2 gun plotting centers, and that's enough to get accurate fire onto these targets. Super weird seeing like destroyers with gun plotting centers, but I mean, hey, if you've got these weapons, might as well rip.
That's completely ridiculous.
Let it rip.
Internet's destroyer drives down.
Booster drive knocked out, nose gun knocked out.
We've been seeing just how fragile the Keystones actually are when they get engaged on by the rotary plasma this whole session. They just kind of collapse. A point being flanked upon by Microsoft here. John Bold
C point, Bell gets a beam into, who's this, Kenobi. Kenobi was doing good work trying to just shoot Tasty while they were down, but now Bell, with the engagement, with those jammers on the coverage, I'm amazed you can get like all these blanket jammers and the beam running Like, this thing still
Right.
has its radars turned on. That's insanity.
Structural. I wonder what that structural lightning thing is. It's a plant
I
control.
assume it just reduces ship mass or something like that, just to
Increases
make it
momentum,
more
yeah.
agile. My best bet, anyways. Kenobi just once again showing, like, despite all the damage that they took on their ship, like, having those rotaries up is just so terrifying. Edge making their way towards A point. Gonna probably run to John Bolts in the backfield, who does not know that Edge is there. Edge has Mark 61s and a torpedo package. That, like, for a large torpedo corvette, that might actually do it on that point.
That was an HEKP S1 that just gutted the mag on Pizza and Alert, run by Ghost Dragon.
Ghost Dragon, let's see, where's that? Yeah, size 1 Heck is like, it's such a meme, but if you have like the armor stripped down, like it can finish it.
Unbelievably cursed munition.
It reduces DR and increases turn speed, you think? Okay, well, I mean, destroyers don't really have DR to begin with, so that's not
right.
bad.
No, that's pretty fair. Kenobi with the surrender, unfortunately, yeah, just gets set upon by the beam stone from Bell.
The fourth of Gustavo is just constantly getting... Inner Explorer still, despite losing their drive and their beam, just that rotary, every time it fires, is just chewing up one of these light ships.
That damage is
constant Star Wars blaster fire.
Yeah,
oh,
no,
God.
that damage is completely fucking ridiculous. Edgelord detected on the A point here. They have detected the I want to say
yep,
fails.
they see John Bolt's ahead of them.
Hypatia.
And Edge is, I think, yep, firing
is...
guns. There you go. Facing target.
Yep, we will see the torpedoes in a moment here, I have a feeling.
Yep, let's take a look. What point defense does this ship have? It's got 2 defenders, which is pretty good. Question is, how good are these torpedoes from Edge with an MLS 3?
Right, only one,
and
so
are they
only
in
salvos
range yet?
of 2.
Yeah. Unmixed salvos, by the way, because MLS, unfortunately.
Right. We'll see
Chipping
how
away
good
here,
that
trying to do what they
is.
can. Not really much damage control board. I can't tell if it's just bugged or what, because I've got like yellow and pink squares on my screen, but...
I don't know what those are. I am so...
Modded faction moment. Anyways, fight continues here. Beam's gonna find things as Bell in the middle of the map, gonna clean up dual front here, I think. Bell just with the beam on target, cooking away. Hey, Noodle. Alright, that's gonna be a kill as dual front goes down.
Hello
Front
from
punches
above,
out
just
there.
continuing to pump fire down with the rotary turret. It's just tearing these ships apart. It's fucking insane. At this range.
They said that the overcharge was a problem. No. As it turns out, is the rotary. I saw this every single game do so much work. I'm like, yeah, are we banning this? No? Okay. If I could run this, absolutely would run the DACA cruisers.
A secured by Edge here.
Edge trying to go fourth here. Does have double Prowler and Stealth Overhaul, so they're not going to go quick, only at 21 or so. I think they're trying to close distance with John Bolds, and John is just going to play dodge dance game here. So actually, John moving on a strafe route, not actually playing distance, probably doesn't know about the torpedo
out from
problems.
Edge.
CMD act on these. Decent Seekers. AMM's deployed. Defenders on standby. Our post is probably not going to do much here. They might soak a little bit of damage. See.
Only salvo size of 2 torpedoes is kind of...
Weave torps, largely getting tanked here. Still, the defender does not fire until the... No, does not fire at all.
Fire at all. 2 guns down immediately
large
on that
DC
thing.
hit. Magazine is redded out.
It has a second mag somewhere because it still has green mag. Yeah, it has a
yes, that's
reinforced
correct. Double mag
as well.
All right. Take a look at the board right now. Orange team looking pretty healthy. Blue team pretty much cleaned up there. Bell secured a couple kills in the midfield there. TC with a distraction play. That said, Hallow up top just ripping apart anyone who gets in gun range, taking negligible damage in return.
Hallow's
like a little bit of hits.
Damage is starting to build. They had their magazine knocked out for a bit earlier. Nick is still up in orbit as well, although they're out of range of their guns and unable to do a whole lot. Bell is holding down
Can I just say how much I appreciate the sound in this mod? Just hearing all the Star Wars blaster sounds fly
No,
off.
it is actually just ripped from Star Wars. More torpedoes out into John Bolts here, as the AMM successfully defend against another torpedo, but unfortunately another one finds its way home. I think that Microsoft Edgelord
guns are taken out on this thing.
This fight. Oh, but Bell's Beamstone.
That said, though, Bell has flipped around.
He's pivoted.
Yep.
Bell doing absolute insane work this entire time.
There goes the beam.
And effectively an entirely vanilla ship.
Yep.
How does he do this?
Is there anything different besides the structural lightning? I don't think so.
No, it's effectively a vanilla beamstone.
Yep.
How does he do this?
Edge just gonna get ripped up here.
The armor
Impact
of
point
the
not the
Jones,
greatest.
the
Is it
armor of the
clicking through a
Jones
nothing
absorbing
thing,
a lot of damage there. More torpedoes out into John Bolds.
Yep.
No restores.
Lost Levy finally getting a Heck-Piece strike going up against Doki here. The glow stick is potentially going to get Heck-Pied by the block this, you filthy casual.
Nope.
Nope, never mind. The PD turrets fire.
Laser PD exists.
Laser PD. Yep, and it takes the plane out too. L2B moment.
I don't know why. I have no idea why Levy is even trying with the carrier at this point.
Yep.
Like, this is the wrong place to bring that.
Yeah.
Laser PD
it's cool
says,
you can do it in theory, but it's
Right.
like this is not the matchup for that. More torpedoes out from Edge, who managed to somehow survive the beam strike going for this. You will fight with the guns, and you will like it. These are cold launch torps now that I look at them, actually.
Yeah,
That's
Bell is still
interesting.
pushing on to Edgelord right now. Edge did get behind cover to avoid being shot at. I think they're trying to take out the radar on... Yep, they take out the radar on John Bolt's ships, and Edge goes dark. I think that's what they were waiting for, but unfortunately Bell rounds the corner right now as the MLS-3 is still under reload.
Yep, I think that the other thing, too, is like, even at this range, with that many jammers, can you just break a lock from a front
I think
line?
you can. I don't think you can. It's a pinpoint, though, on the back of...
Pinpoint, though, against, like, 4 blankets and, like, on frontline burn through, I don't think you win that one. Flick the battle short, hold the lock, there we go. Torpedo fight. Ooh, ARAD act.
Oh,
okay,
ARAD
that's
act.
going to be
All right,
important.
These are going to attract through the jamming.
Oh, no, wrong angle on one of them, but the other does find
The
it.
other one acquires.
Does the allied ship have point defense turrets? It does have PD turrets. Will they intercept these weaving torpedoes?
The torpedo homes in, not on the Keystone, but on the other destroyer.
Yep, I think good MCon, but not enough.
No.
It's going to find its way
And it
do
clonked.
nothing?
No damage. It clonked. Unfortunate. The magazine's been rated on Edge, as Edge, unfortunately, is not going to win that engagement.
Edge, taking a favorable fight there, does manage to get a good sneak onto the point, but unfortunately just 2 reinforcing ships will arrive. I think that's going to be the last of things really cleaned up for Blue here.
Right.
Lost Leviathan and Hallow on top of the map. You're still a combat force somewhat to be reckoned with. Let me get the sort of first carrier thing, and Hallow, I mean, once again, Hallow just showing, like, you don't need that much. Even a single rotary plasma like this is so fierce.
Right. They still have the 2 ships up top, but those are not going to be enough to deal with what Team 2 has left. 1 rotary plasma ship.
Trying to get
and an empty carrier.
fighter out here doing something or other. Unfortunately, has to recall.
Yeah.
No tracks provided. All right, more rotary plasma being fired off against the already dead ship from Nick the Nuker. That thing is just getting barrage fired by every color of plasma.
Yeah. Plasma is actually fucking cracked in this
It is
little mod
incredible in
list.
this.
Like, it even like armored ships that have angled armor, like the torch ships from Prism, they just get torn apart
Yeah,
by it pretty much instantaneously.
It just means you last like a minute longer. It's so devastating.
I know, it has like no effect. It's completely fucking insane.
Yep. Once again, they're like, oh yeah, overcharge the problem. No, it is not. It is the rotary. The rotary pulls 30k every game it's run.
Overcharged got like 35k in the first match on so overcharged is also really strong, but rotary is just
It's like,
yeah,
hey,
rotary
light ships, yes, I can afford with these things to run double gun plotting center. Don't mind if I do.
Which, like...
The regular plasma cannons we saw from, what was it, Doki there. Yeah, those seem like more normal, and they require not as much investment. I don't think they even have a gun plotting center in their ship, so compared to the rotaries, they're pretty accurate overall. And just putting fire downrange. The rotary is just like, all right, I see you. I'm going to shoot you.
Right.
Also, I think trying to do something with their Chanto, but just not able to get a strike onto the point anywhere.
No, you don't. Yeah, against a mod list that has the point defense insanity that this list does, bringing craft feels like not a good idea at all. I mean, props to them for
attack here, but they keep evading.
Does craft have munitions? It's not.
Oh, I know what's happening with this. So this is an unfortunate thing where you lose radar lock. Sometimes it will refuse to like pick a target and it'll like do this weird dodge thing. That's what this Heck-P might find Bell does and doesn't really do much
damage. Yeah.
Red's the CIC, I guess. It's still under command. How's it still under command, actually?
8%.
9%. It was at 6%. Is that still operational?
Is it?
I guess.
Is it
Is 6%
0% where it
operational
comes
on CIC?
unoperational? Huh. Well, the missile did good damage. Unfortunately, the craft I think just got shot down. Yeah. That was the last craft Levy had. Yeah. They
that'll be that. Right, so it's all just on
Unfortunate.
Hallow now.
Hallow
3
is
caps good for
still
Orange team.
operational, moving into the
5% is not operational, apparently. Okay, so 6% is just enough to keep under command. Interesting trivia.
Huh.
I'll remember
Well,
that at some point. Yeah.
That is literally the only damage Bell has taken so far. He's fine.
Yep.
Yeah, no. The loss of the
Hallow
two
rotating here,
Viscounts-
trying to find Zopto. I think they have a rough idea of where the ship would be, but they don't have a track on it, so just kind of keeping heading facing best direction they can.
Tasty's rocket rush against the two Viscounts in the back line. I think that was the thing that sealed the deal here for Team 2. They just the two rotary plasma Viscounts, removing them from play was just.
Yeah, I think the first was like, I don't think it was so much just the rocket strikes or anything it got through there. So the rocket strikes were present, but they didn't deal the most. I think it's more just the disruption that caused, just like forcing the team back, and then Bell able to like sweep in and clean up as they were all distracted there.
Yeah, under fire from D point as well. Yeah. Huh. Very, very interesting.
Hallow trying to make it onto the A point here, go for the cap, but like with the number of ships here, I think it's pretty safe to call this one Orange team just having won it.
I do not think Team 1 can pull this back. One ship left against is
it's like
3
Levy technically combat
4.
capable with Mark 62s, but that's not really gonna fight against anything on the board here.
That's 4
single rotary plasma person, you're gone.
That's 4 functional warships and a heavily damaged cap ship at this point, we'll call it.
Yep. Honestly, credit to John Bolds for somehow surviving against that with their big spoon. Just like the entire front section gutted on this thing, looking like a voxel after a good missile strike, but
John Bolt's flipping back around.
Honestly, not a bad call, knowing that that's probably what the last enemy ship could have been, and just kind of putting themselves on the nearest point, knowing that their thrust is... Actually, their rear thrusters are fully intact, so... Maybe not the worst idea, then. Hallow gonna come around the corner, though, and say something with that rotary as soon as they get a blip.
All right,
there you go.
A Frontline. Oh, that's an immediate target lock, yep.
That's in gun range. Take a look.
Plasma turret's locked.
4K. Let's watch this damage, shall we? First salvo gonna miss there largely. I think just bad angle.
Even with mostly misses, target. That still did a lot.
I don't know. Only 2 sections here hit, like the main reactor and the Dragonfly. Everything else seems okay. We'll see how the second burst goes now that they've gotten a little closer and locked on. First shots tend to be a little bit iffy, especially against some of these modded ships' aim points. All right, there you go. Second salvo now catching this thing proper. Again, only a singular rotary is just doing this. Look at that. Yep, there you go. That takes out a bunch of these stations.
That's beam damage. Like, that's fucking insane.
Might not have the hit scan laser beam, but it does definitely have the power.
Yeah, and this is just one of them. You can run... I mean, this is a heavy one, so it's a double barrel, but you can run 4 single rotaries on a Viscount.
Saw it on the heavy frigates and just how fierce that was.
Yeah.
Once again, the big spoon refusing to die. Takes a lot of damage. Manages to hold on. I don't think it can break DT.
I think it has the DT to the live. Zopto immediately reverses course as well and is rushing to Jumbold's aid with the broadside destroyer here. These destroyers have been really interesting. They've been like really vulnerable to return fire, though, I've noticed in this mod pack. That might be a symptom of rotary plasma, but they just seem to...
Might be.
They just
might also just be like
weapon
systems and stuff, like depending on target.
Could be.
I've seen those broadside guns.
Hallow immediately swaps fire to Zopto.
Picks new target, gets the lock. There you go. Broadside presented, fired. Do they have the range here? Maybe, maybe not. About 5.5k there. Gonna eat it in the broadside here.
Rotary plasma. That's a
little
DC
damage.
complex.
Yeah.
Taking
fire. Here comes the rotary plasma from Inner Explorer, who decides they want a piece of the action. They have 2 turrets, top and bottom, and also the spinal, I believe, the heavy.
The heavy plasma, yeah.
Livy slides down, trying to get some work done with the Mark 62s. Might as well while you can. Bell immediately turns and burns. Hallow taking a little bit of chip damage. CIC gets knocked. Command disabled
Bell
on that. That's
hits Hallow.
bad.
Yeah, Hallow is out of this as Rotary Plasma swaps to the carrier creature.
Internet Explorer firing for effect. Heavy plasmas go out, blows right through the front of the flooded cafe there. And Raider Drive disabled. The ship is immobilized. I think this might be it for blue team.
Yep. That is... Hallow does get out of there.
Casually grabbing a screenshot.
They do... Yeah, I should probably get those as well.
Wasn't taking the cake in that regard. Yeah, Prism mod, just like... These rotary plasmas, so powerful.
It's not even Prism. This is Heat. Prism is the
Was it
ships.
Heat?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. I always get these mod packs mixed up because I'm just like, oh yeah, I can learn like 5 mod packs in an afternoon. That's fine, right?
I'm a vanilla player mostly. My modded experience begins and ends at Falcata.
Yep, that's about the same. Like, I tried Burning Lance. I figured out there's 6 factions. I'm like, I don't know how to build these. Somebody hands me a fleet. I'm like, all right, I'll figure it out. Beam is on target. There you go. Hallow gets cooked down, and I believe that Levy's out.
Surrender from Hallow, yeah.
GG.